What's going on, guys? So I must have been asked about this about 50 times or so on the channel, so I thought I'd make a video dedicated to the topic, which is farts or gas for my American viewers on a vegan diet. So let's do this. How do you deal with bean gas? 5 tins of beans in one go? Did you pick up nappies too? In all seriousness though, guys, my goal is to help as many people as possible, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips on how you can minimize the negative side effects of flatulence on a vegan diet. So what is my first tip? Well, as you guys know, I like to eat a lot of beans, and yes, beans can make you gassy, but there are ways to avoid it. Firstly, you may have heard of this before, but soaking your beans in cold water overnight actually helps to mitigate some of the negative side effects. Soaking helps to relieve the beans of some of the heavier molecules which your body can't break down, and this helps to reduce gas. Not only this, but soaking is actually beneficial as it enhances the nutrient profile of the beans. Soaking starts the sprouting process, which means not only are you reaping greater rewards in terms of the nutrients that you get from the food, but you're also avoiding the aforementioned issues, so it's a win-win situation. Now, a second top tip is to rinse your food where possible. So for example, if I soak my beans overnight, I'll always rinse them thoroughly before I cook them to get rid of any phytic acid and things like that which could have built up. Most of the time I don't soak my beans, but I will always rinse them because I find this goes a long way in terms of reducing the gas and the bloating. So soaking overnight and then rinsing thoroughly should help out a lot. One thing I found though is that it can take time for your body to adapt, so don't be put off if the problems don't go straight away. When you switch to a vegan diet, you will probably be consuming a bit more fibre, and for those who aren't used to higher fibre intakes, this can cause some issues, but bear with it because after a while it will go away. I am a testament to that fact. For example, when I went vegan, I was having quite a few issues with gas and bloating as a result of my bean intake, but I grin and bared it for, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and now it's no longer an issue. Moving on to the next tip, and that is experimenting with different food combinations. You may have heard of food combining before, and essentially what it is giving thought to the types of food that you combine together in a meal. Now, normally I wouldn't pay much attention to this idea of food combining because it's irrelevant in terms of body composition, so how you look, but it may be useful to consider it in terms of the issues of gas and bloating. Food combining isn't a perfect science though, and does require some experimentation. For example, when I went vegan, I found that my gas was far less worse when I consumed my beans with rice and beans. Maybe that's just another reason why it's such a perfect vegan bodybuilding meal. But yeah, it's definitely worth paying attention to the types of food that you combine together and working out what works best for you. Finally, if you're doing all these things, you're soaking and rinsing your foods, you've given your body time to adapt, and you've experimented with different food combinations and you're still having issues, then I would suggest reducing your consumption of the food which is causing you those issues and try out some other vegan foods. So for example, if you're having trouble with beans, why not try out some other high protein vegan foods like tofu, lentils, or perhaps quinoa. That is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the tips have been helpful. Let me know down below what your top tips are for reducing gas on a vegan diet, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.